Morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day weekend. I certainly did, and I'm ready to jump back in and get some more of these very time-consuming cosmetic things knocked out today. The quicker I can get through this stuff, quicker the better. Move on to more important stuff. All right, let me see if I can remember how I did this last time. I want to say just run diagonal worked. Oop, but I can't necessarily remember. Let's see if that was it. Yep, I think that was it. I don't think that one went as far. Yeah, it went to the same spot. Yeah, I think that's how I had it last time. That works. Yeah, I think I'd finished the rest of this run last time. Yep, I had it. So, and I believe there is one other run of these catwalks. Yeah, right here. So we need to get this little L-shaped run, and then those will all be done. We can go through and do all the cables. Dang, I hit it in the right spot. First try. All right. All right, now let's do the tedious task of holding and nudging and holding and nudging and holding and nudging on these things. I think I said it last time. I really... If they ever would like to implement zooping of signs, I don't think anybody would ever for a minute argue with them, especially for if you use a lot of signs for decorations. Oops, I don't think that one went where I wanted it. It did not. Which most people use the signs for decorations. I mean, that's its most used feature, I would imagine. All right, almost there. Almost there. No, I didn't want to hold it there. I want to hold it there. That one's off. Look at that. Ever so slightly. There we go. All right. Perfect. All right, that's knocked out. Now we have a whole bunch of cabling to do for the supports. So where do we want to start? Because I'd finished all this over here. Yeah. So we're gonna run through. Oh, missed a spot here. Got that side. All right, let's start on this end and work the way around. I think it's the best option. Mm, 10, 11. That's going to go through the pipe. Don't know if I want to do that. All right, let's get the sides, this side done at least. See how that looks. I think we said 11. This one's not going to be 11. This one's going to be 10, 9, 9. All right, I don't want to overkill. Let's see here. Yeah, we can throw another one here. Just trying to avoid all these pipes is going to be pipes and belts. From the aesthetics point of view, it can be a little difficult. You can hit this one. Seven. Yeah. Okay, I like that. I think we need one more. We need one more kind of splitting this area here. About here. No, wasn't what I wanted. I need 11. Alright, we can run down this whole run here. Alright, is that cutting through anything? Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, that'll work. Mm-hmm. Let's get a stand back and look. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay. So we'll shoot down here. Am I gonna have the same problem here? No, I can get both sides on this one. Alright. 1, 2, 3. 7. I don't think there needs to be any like consistent rhyme or reason to these, just the spacing, just kind of whatever feels decent. Here's a 2. A double I missed. Alright, so we need to get this while we're here. Oop, nope, not there. We want it right, I think right there. Yeah, that's the spot. Bum, bum, bum. Wants to catch multiple spot. Oh no, we don't want diagonal. Default. That works. What's this one gonna be? 7? Yeah, 7. All right, how does that look? Oop. It moved on me. All right. Let's see. So we need to catch these two back. Those seem awfully. Why is that looking like that? Hold on. I don't like that. These aren't catching like that, are they? Oh yeah, they are. I'm pretty sure one of your roof fumes was placed a little low. Yeah, let me go back and check that. Right now I'm going on a wormhole of, see how this one, it's awfully bright, but the beam connector, it's not protruding to the lights on this. This is the first walkway that I ran, and they're showing through here. On the last bit, yeah, I'll head over there and look, but I'm trying to figure out what in the heck, why this is doing this. The only thing I can think, maybe I ran these lights a hair further up than these. These are sitting down more. Because I did have to do a whole bunch of nudging to get these over here. Let me check this real quick. I mean, that's a spot where I'm running them. All right, let's go check out. You said one of the top ones. Dun, dun. Yes, I did. Good catch. Thank you. How did I get the light strip under the catwalk? So, let me go here. I did it 2 ways, and that's where I think what's getting thrown off on these beam connectors showing. So this run over here, I'm fairly certain I took one of these lights, ran it on the ceiling, and just nudged it down into place. Is how I got these to here. But these over here, what I did was just delete that one. If you just run a beam, painted beam, if I can back up, they'll just snap right to them like that. And then you can plop it in, and then you can go up here and delete the beam. Maybe, there you go. And then once I get the first one, it's just a hold and nudge, hold and nudge, hold and nudge all the way down to make them look like there's no transitions between them. But I think that must have been the issue. I bet, because these are also at different heights. This catwalk here and this one here, you can see I've got this one angled piece. Yes, it's the small billboard. Yeah, small billboard. These are the big ones. All the ceiling lights, these are the large ones. But these are smalls. When you turn them sideways, they're exactly the same width as these catwalks. I'm gonna check one thing real quick. Hold. Alright, let's just nudge down. I wonder if that has... That's it right there, that's what happened. So those other ones, they're just a fraction. You never thought of doing that? Yeah, I'll show you here on these blueprints. I did the same thing. You can't see because I don't have global illumination turned on. But dang it, this irritates me because... Well, you know what? No, it's fine because I would have seen this side of those. So we're going to go with that. Yeah, but so here in these blueprints, I have them built in as well underneath. And I've been playing with colors over here. Which again, you can't see because... Here, let me do something real quick. Turn it to night. And then we pop on global illumination, which I don't play with it on because my computer can't handle. Well, it can. It's just, it's gonna pump out 15 FPS, and it's not good to fly around. So these I've got turned to, I'm sure y'all are seeing the lag. So these I've got turned to like a red color underneath. These also. I've been trying to find like a good contrast color to this green-ish color that I was going with. But I haven't really decided on what I want to do yet. It's like, because as soon as I turn global illumination on, although it looks great, it's almost like it's too green. So I've been playing with some of the intensities. Like you can see this one's different than that one. But anyway, let me turn this back off so it can be a little bit more smooth. Turn the daytime back on too. Well, I guess we can leave it at night for a minute. Alright, so I need to finish running these cable supports. And I don't remember where I left off. which looks a little bit strange, the greenish color. Do I want to put one right here? I think I do. If it'll snap properly. There it goes. That one was not tall enough. I don't think I need another one here. Don't miss this one. Okay, one more run over here. No, this is the experimental mods. So I was doing experimental. This is the final release branch that's out of 1.1. But I switched over to the experimental as soon as it came out, which I was kind of debating. Let me add some of these cables in while I'm talking. I was kind of debating because my starter factory that I've got over on the other side of the world, I did have a whole bunch of mods. Like I started this playthrough with mods. Why isn't this catching? With a bunch of mods, and let's get rid of that. And I knew that they were going to be, they weren't going to work with the experimental. So I did ultimately make the decision to switch over and get rid of all the mods. But the only mod I've got, well, I froze there for a half second. My computer's been acting up. The only mod I got right now is the Sky UI mod. So I can change the time of day. I don't know if I'm gonna. I really don't know if I'm gonna put any more back in besides that one. Because the consequences of me switching over to the experimental, having used so many mods before, it was painful. Oh, I didn't do the tops. It was extremely painful. Like, I had to completely redo hours and hours and hours worth of stuff. I mean, that's my own fault, admittedly, for being so mod dependent. I have to delete this one too. You know, if I had not been so mod dependent, mod dependent when I first started it, then it would have been easier. But then again, I started the playthrough with mods. Like, that was something I decided I wanted to do. So I just had to shift once the experimental came out, which I honestly didn't think. I didn't think that it was gonna come out that quick. So small group and started playing a few weeks ago. Got a server running vanilla 1.1. That's one thing I've never done. I've never done multiplayer, right? I think I would like to. I just never really gotten around to it. All right, now this is gonna look stupid right here. Look at this. We are so close to the ceiling. I wonder. Y'all are on phase 3. Nice. Yeah, I've finished phase 3 a long time ago, and I'm sitting on phase 4 for, it'll be a minute before I get any of that stuff going. I think I want to leave off the top connector on all these. Server specifically, we often get desynced. Yeah, again, I've never done the server deal, but I've heard it's off and on. You know, as far as stability goes. My fear would be, especially with my group of friends, if I did one, I'd be the one doing all the work. Not that it would be a problem per se, but I'm very task and goal oriented. I don't think that grabbed. Yeah, exactly. There is technically no problem. So did y'all, oh, I keep hitting on that and falling. So playing the multiplayer server, is that your first time playing this game at all, period? Oh, missed it. All right, I think I've knocked out the cables for this whole side. Did a play a few years ago for a month or so, but didn't get too far. Yeah. All right, where am I? I feel like I'm. Oh, I've got to do this whole run here. If I can squeeze in there somewhere. There we go. So do y'all work on one thing at a time together, or do y'all each all have your own, where am I going? Your own little tasks, like want to use over here building a crystal oscillator factory, and the other one's doing heavy modular frames, or kind of how do y'all have that broken up? Stuck in a generator. There we go. All right, let's put these on to go back, and then notice I got that diagonal. Should do their own thing. One guy's very into power plants. We leave him alone. Yeah, I mean, if you find somebody that like just loves doing the certain thing, yeah, just leave them alone, let them do it. I mean, I like doing power plants. It's not my favorite. I mean, that's what I'm working on now. I mean, it's all running. I'm just doing cosmetic stuff at this point. I mean, this thing puts out 100,000 megawatts. I got this 3375 remainder that's just hanging over from the, like, my original coal power plant. So I've done the hard, well, I say I've done the hard part on this one. To be honest, I'd much rather be putting all these suckers in and doing logistics and problem solving flows and all that fun stuff, because I got all the turbo fuel guys upstairs, than doing this part. This part's the tedious. I hate this part. I absolutely do not love just, although it makes everything look good. Here, I'll show you the upstairs while I'm over here gandering at that. Yeah, so I'd much rather be placing all these suckers and, you know, making sure they're getting all their things than running all these catwalks and uh 100,000 megawatts just from this factory. So you can see it's 103,375. So the 3,375 is from my original coal power plant. So this one's 100,000 watts. It's 160 of these turbo fuel generators, with shards in them, three per generator. Yeah, it was. This took a minute. I haven't counted up the hours since I've been working on it, but I lost probably 2 to 3 hours. Heck, this was a couple of streams ago. I don't even remember when. And I had all these fired up. Everything. I had green lights. Actually, these are white lights since they're power sharded, right? They get the little white light instead of a green light. Every single one of them was lit up white, perfect, right? Nothing backing up upstairs, no extra turbo fuel, like everything was running perfectly. And for some reason, the math was coming up that I was 2 of these generators short, which is here on 60,000. I'm barely using 20. Yeah, heck, I'm not even using. My maximum is almost 20. That's 2 factories. Anyway, I was coming up 1,250 megawatts short, which is basically 2 of these generators because each one's 625, right? And I spent hours going down each row, back and forth, just checking every single one of these, and I could not find it. I could not find it, but the math was showing that I was exactly 2 short. Come to find out, I forget which row it is. I think it's this row right here. So these are blueprints. So I got the generators in a blueprint, and then I got this little distribution line in a blueprint. And you can see, let me take that off. You know, I ran power along the outside, right? Well, each one of these I had to connect this power, right? Which obviously I can't reconnect it because it's already connected there. Well, one of these generators, instead of connecting up to here, I did this number. So these were working because it was getting the fuel, right? This is independent of the power running across, and they were generating power because they're getting fuel. They only need fuel to do their job. So they were running, but they weren't connected to the grid essentially, so that their power wasn't, let me delete this before I forget it. So their power wasn't being counted towards the total power output. And it was one blueprint. Like I said, it may have even been like this one right here. It was somewhere in this area right here. But hours. It took me hours to figure that out. It was rather annoying. Alright, so I think I need to get the diagonal. I was going to try to put a diagonal light here, if I'm not mistaken. Good grief. Yeah, on the power, looking for the power problem. Yeah, come on. It was testing me for sure. I was super frustrated. And to be honest, I found it off. I wasn't streaming when I found it. It was, I've tried to problem solve for the other way for a couple hours while I was streaming. And finally, I had to just give it up. And I essentially ignored. Is that gonna stick through? No, that should work. I didn't come back and play for a couple of days. I was so frustrated with it. And I finally popped it on, just, to play around. That's probably not the right spot. Huh. Let's see how we're gonna do this. And yeah, I found it just tinkering around with, and I wasn't streaming. I forgot I gotta delete these for this to work. Feel like that's the right spot. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that was not a fun experience. You know, like I said, if it was something other than, you know, if it was a flow rate issue or a resource per minute issue that was, I'd much rather have tried to problem solve that than one electric connection, which in normal circumstances that that wouldn't have happened. You would have known it right away because whatever you're connecting wouldn't have had the power to do what it needed to do, right? Does that make sense, right? Like if this was anything other than a fuel generator, if I didn't connect up the power, the light would be red, it wouldn't be running, and you could easily identify it. But since these are power generators, and if you're feeding them the source of what they're using to generate power, they're always going to be powered up. So to be honest, I'm surprised it was only one blueprint's worth that I was short. I had a problem a few days over the entire power grid shut down. Spent a whole day trying to figure out the issue. Fixed it by restoring an old save. That's weird. And no one messed with anything? Just kind of y'all loaded it up and it wasn't working? Alright, I think I've gotten all these support cables done except for this little run over here. Yeah, we need to get this side over here. Oops, I'm on the wrong quick bar. There we go. Huh, that is weird. Although I've got, and I don't know, this was before, I honestly haven't gone back and checked. I probably need to go back and check over at the starter factory. I had something happening. Oh, we don't want freeform. Let's see if I can describe it, explain it. So I've got a train, two trains actually, that come in over at the starter factory. One of them's bringing coal. Let's see, do I want one in the middle here? One of them's bringing coal, the other one's bringing in plastic. And neither one of them, they're on two separate trains, right? So there's never any plastic on the coal train and there's never any coal on the plastic train. They come in at separate times. They're different cars even, if that makes sense, right? Like I've got the coal train when it pulls in is unloading from the first freight car. And the plastic unloads from the second. Well, part of the coal, when it's getting distributed to go into the starter factory, I'm peeling off, let's throw one right here. I'm peeling off a little bit to run as fuel for a truck that's bringing stuff in. I know this is probably making this way more difficult sounding than it is. Anyway, I was playing a couple days ago. Well, it's probably been over a week now. And you can see up here at the top of the, can't really use my cursor, but at the top it's showing Space Elevator Hub. I looked up and there's a warning sign, and one of my trucks had an issue. Well, I've only got one truck running over there. And I was like, how does one truck have an issue? So I go over there, the damn thing ran out of coal. And I was like, well, how does that even happen? For some reason, and again, these things aren't even connected to each other, plastic got into that coal line that's feeding the fuel for that truck route. No clue. And it happened multiple times. And I don't know, I never really tracked it down whether it was like a fresh start. Oh, that was in the wrong spot. Right, if it was, right when I loaded the game in, or kind of what was going on. But I ended up, it happened 2-3 times. I forgot to do these right here. I ended up putting a smart splitter to peel off if anything other than coal in that line. And now that we're talking about it, I think I need to go over there and check it out and just make sure it's still working, because I have not looked at it since I loaded in the brand new version of 1.1. Again, I was using experimental. I'd be curious to see if it's done the same thing. I'm gonna go run over there real quick. I think I did delete my hyper tube cannons. Oh, look at this guy. What are you doing? I don't even know how you got on the backside of this thing anyway. Alright, we're gonna take the... Hey man, I appreciate it. Yeah, catch you next time. Alright, I'm gonna take this little sucker for a ride over to the starter factory. Seems like there's a little bit more fog in this area than I remember. Oh, hang on. There we go. Slowly but surely. Come on. Wish there was a way to speed these things up. Besides going downhill. Got it. Alright, that one's too steep of an angle. Got it. Yeah, this takes way too long. I'm gonna have to go put that. Hypertube cannon back at the other at the power plant. It's just a bit too much. It's a bit too much. Can I set my voice louder? Yeah, I can turn it up. Let me get over here and land real quick. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna have to do it in small little increments, I think. I don't know. Tell me how that sounds, if that's any better. Perfect. All right, so I came over here to look at this. What did I come over here to look at? Oh, to make sure plastic wasn't getting down into... It is still. Look at that. That is so weird. Huh. I'm glad I put this little offshoot on. I'll yet to understand how that's even happening. I just have no idea. All right, well, while we're over here, let's reload the crystal oscillators material. And I wonder what our AI limiter situation is. Pretty good. All right, so I probably need... We need quartz crystal and cable for sure. I'm gonna have to make some more. I'm gonna have to make some more biofuel. Liquid biofuel very, very soon. I may have to go on an exploration. Gather some stuff to do that. I think I've got some animal parts I need to... Yeah, see, I got some hog remains, spitter remains. Do I have anything else I need to drop in here? Power slug. Doesn't look like stinger. Oh, got some hatcher. Okay. You can go in there, you can go in there, you can go in there. Alright, I think we've accomplished what we needed to over here and go back to the power plant. So, I've been meaning to, let me do it while we're here. Actually, let me do this. This thing's a little bit too powerful. And I need to reduce some of it because I have killed myself At least twice. Overshooting. Right there. Overshooting the power plant. And I don't want to do that again. It should be about right. Yeah, may need to put the brakes on though. Hang on. I'm gonna land on the drone. Perfect. Much better. And let's throw... I'm thinking about it. Let's throw one over here. Take it back. Close enough. All right, where were we? I think I was wrapping up. So all these catwalks should be done. Yep, all the catwalks are done. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about this area here. So I need some lighting in here. I mean, this just needs to be a room, right? Delete that. Put this here. This just needs to be like an accessible room. Dun, 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 dun. But how do I want to do it? Let's see. I almost want it just as big as this upper platform area is. But I think I need to make that a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's better. Let's see how this looks. Full frame walls. Full frame window, I mean. Hmm. I don't mind that. But that's not going to work too well. Huh. Why do I have this off? There's no way this is off, is there? It is. That's gonna be interesting. How far off is it? Look at that. Now, why would I have done that, though? Seems stupid. Alright, this is all sorts of off. Nope. Alright, well that'll transition a little bit better. Yeah. I'm not sold on this look, though. No, I want the light, thank you. Maybe something along those lines. Automatic gate, roll-up gate. Automatic gate. Do I even like this? I mean, that serves the purpose, right? All right, what kind of lighting do we want in here, though? Uh, I think that's too far over. About there. How far did I have? It's so bright I can barely see. It's one full and over. There. Well, it seems like that's too much. Let's see. It's definitely bright. Wonder if I could put... Could you display sign? I don't know if I like that seam running across there. That's a little better. Is that contrasting enough? Computer froze again. That's awesome. Hopefully the thing doesn't die on us right in the middle of the stream. See how this red looks on the bottom. Yeah, it's not bad. She's got a lot of different color schemes going on right now. Oh no. Ran in the wrong spot. Okay. I don't know if I need a large billboard there. Do I? Got third summer charms on. No. Alright, yeah, I don't like that. We'll play with that later. Alright, so I think this floor is done. Save picking a color scheme. You know what? We need a way up to these catwalks. We do not have a way up. It probably should be right here. So do I want it, excuse me, do I want it inside that room or... $1,000,000 question. It's gonna have to be ramp, not stairs. I think stairs are... yeah, stairs are gonna stick through. Which I do not want. Yeah. Yeah. Is that the right one? Yeah. So it's gonna have to be ramp, and that's a long... I mean, you could do this. Guess let's throw it on the backside over here. It's not what we wanted. That's what we want. Oh, I don't want to make this. There we go. There we go. Let's see. 6. Wonder how that looks going all the way to the ceiling. Ooh, you know what I could do? Probably too much. Let's try it. Yeah, it's a little intense. It's a little intense. What if we do... It's not gonna show through. It's not bad. It's not horrendous. Sure, I'll take that. And then technically we could... why is that not wanting to grab right there? How do we want to support the top? How's that look? Yeah, I don't mind that. Nope, 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 nope. Gotta match the other side. Let's try it out. Perfect. All right. Well, I think cosmetics wise, hold on. Let me check something real quick. A little. Sliders are all dancing all over the place for some reason. All right, I think that's better. All right, I know I've only been going about an hour 43. At least that's what OBS is saying, but I'm about wrapped up for today because that's really all I wanted to get done was this second floor. And I've pretty well accomplished that. I mean, there may be some other miscellaneous tweaking that I need to do. Or are you yellow? That makes me worried. Let's go upstairs and check. Okay, water's full, oil's full. Full. Nothing's backing up. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why those would be yellow if these aren't. Maybe we just got too much going in? Maybe, yeah. This will seem fine. Let's go check this little run of 4 over here. Yeah, those are all fine too. Okay. All right, I think I think for all intents and purposes, you know, top floor power generator floor done with catwalks and lighting, at least install, right? I'm still gonna play with this color scheme because I'm not sold on it. So we need to start working on this beast down here. And the question is, do I want to tackle that right now? Because I am not sold that I want to tackle that right now. How about we do this? I'm gonna take me like a 5-minute break, refill my coffee, think if I want to keep on going or if I just want to call it a day today. I mean, I may go for a little while longer. We'll see. But for now, I'm gonna take a quick little break. So we'll check everybody here in a few minutes. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna call it a morning and pick this up again, possibly tomorrow. Because I really don't have enough time to get into this in too much detail, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. So I appreciate everybody jumping in and following along. But I'm gonna sign off, and we'll see everybody next time. Y'all have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.